Solar storms. According to some news in 2024, the sun may cause a global collapse. This is because they're saying we might run out of energy and internet due to a massive solar storm. But is it really true? Is something like this really going to happen? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, folks. In today's video, are we going to lose power and internet in 2024? Well, for those who don't know, solar storms are the result of a sudden release of energy stored in the sun's magnetic fields. They occur when magnetic energy accumulates in the solar atmosphere and is released all at once. This, folks, causes explosions that can last minutes or even hours. These storms are linked to the solar cycle, an 11-year cycle that occurs on the surface of our star. Wow, I'm impressed by how beautiful and dangerous they can be. And these solar explosions are so strong that it's like thousands of volcanic eruptions happening on Earth at the same time. When these explosions occur in more active magnetic regions of the sun, even far away, they can indeed impact here on Earth, interfering with our magnetic field and posing a risk to the internet and telecommunications. Okay, but has this happened before here on Earth? Has there been a major solar storm that affected the Earth or the internet or something like that? Yes, folks, it has happened. In 1859, the largest solar storm at that time was recorded. The technology was different back then. There was no internet, but it did affect telegraph systems. Today, we depend much more on technology than back then. And that's why a solar storm, similar to that one, could bring much more catastrophic damage. And that's why at the beginning of this year, everyone was panicking on the internet thinking, are we going to lose internet? So, is it really true that in 2024 or in the coming years, there will be such a strong solar storm capable of knocking out the internet or even power for a few days at the beginning of the year? Astrophysicist Peter Becker from the University of Georgia, USA, made a controversial statement. He said the following: the internet, satellite communication systems, and GPS will stop working for months, and the power grids will experience constant failures. This is because, according to him, this year there will be a large coronal mass ejection, a phenomenon where the sun releases plasma and electrically charged particles. And this happens as a result of a massive solar explosion. And according to Peter, these plasmas and electrically charged particles can reach Earth. And if that happens, it could burn all kinds of electronic equipment, including the internet, causing global chaos. He even affectionately gave a name to this moment. He called this possible event the Internet Apocalypse. Once again, the apocalypse would roll. Obviously, if this happens the way he said it, it's something quite scary and worrisome. But folks, there's a small possibility, not an absolute certainty that things won't go down like that. Firstly, these are allegations because Becker hasn't published studies or presented data to support all of this. And the only concrete information from Becker, supported by studies, is the following. Between 2024 and 2028, the sun is expected to be in a phase of increased activity. This, folks, is a fact. However, what will happen is uncertain. A lot of things can happen, and it may also be that nothing is felt by us here on Earth. A phase of increased solar activity is not new. It happens periodically and without causing major consequences, at least for now. This is because every 11 years, the sun's magnetic poles reverse, which naturally increases the frequency of solar eruptions. So every 11 years, we have a new cycle. However, the last time this really had an impact on Earth was almost 200 years ago. Not to mention that several other scientists have chimed in to give their opinion and ended up dismissing all this concern that this cycle could end the internet or something like that. Because according to some scientists, this is a highly unlikely scenario. According to researcher Sean Elvidge from the University of Birmingham in England, it would be very difficult for this storm to affect household devices. He said that the effect of magnetic waves could reach unprotected transformers in power grids, but only in cases of networks with long cables. In other words, according to him, it could affect some things but not everything. It won't cause a global meltdown on the planet. But the burning question is, what is fact? What is fiction? And should you worry if your fridge, computer, or PlayStation 5 will burn out? While the fact is that there has been a significant increase in solar activity, this was confirmed by the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which stated that the sun is in its most active period since 2003. For example, on February 5, 2024, a major solar explosion did indeed occur over sunspot AR3575. The explosion reached its maximum intensity on the following day, February 6th, and the particles released by the explosion took 8 minutes to reach Earth. Interestingly, on that day, the phenomenon caused a brief radio wave blackout in some areas of Australia and Asia. A video about this phenomenon was even published on the internet. After that, on February 12th, several more solar explosions were recorded, some of which were so intense that they approached maximum classification. The expectation was that an even stronger storm would occur on February 3rd, but the date came and went without anything serious or relevant happening. According to the NOAA, this solar cycle is expected to reach its peak between January and October 2024. In conclusion, as you saw in this video, it doesn't necessarily mean that we will have a power or internet outage for several months. But one thing is for sure, folks. In 2024, and possibly in the coming years due to the cycle, we will have several intense solar activities. For those who enjoyed the topic and want to stay tuned for the latest news about all this, comment below, leave your like, because that way, you'll help the video grow even more, and we'll also know that you liked it. And as soon as there's hot news as hot as the sun, I'll be back here telling you everything. Thanks for watching up to this point. See you, my friend.